Welcome to the FrameX podcast. This is a new podcast that we're going to start. And today, for our first episode, it's me, Alan Tong, and Jehu Chan.
Hey, how are you guys? We're going to be talking about some good stuff, some good tips, maybe ideas for realtors or photographers.
Yeah. So basically, we're going to be talking about like whatever we do, right? Our operation, what goes on in the business.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretty transparent. And sometimes that hurts people's feelings.
Yeah, probably.
Because we reveal the secrets, right? Reveal the secrets of what goes on behind real estate photography. We're not only going to be talking about just like cameras and drones and stuff like that, but what goes on and the kind of the experiences we go through. So there's definitely stories. We have a lot of stories, and this would be the great podcast or platform to share all that. So, episode 1, here we go. Are you ready, Jehu?
I'm ready. Let's roll.
Let's roll. All right, Jehu. So, you want to tell me? Let's just dive right into it, right? What's your favorite piece of camera gear?
My favorite piece of camera gear, my remote controller.
Your remote? What do you mean by a remote?
Yeah, I have a remote that I can remotely trigger my camera to take a shot. And I mainly use it when I'm in bathrooms with mirrors or any situation with mirrors. It's just really useful.
Okay, so I know that you said like there's a remote that you use to trigger, like so that you don't get in the shot, right?
Yeah, so I
That's the
don't get
point?
in the shot. Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, AI is well developed and Photoshop actually, helps you a lot with grabbing objects and like completely remove them from the image.
Mm-hmm.
But it's easier if it's an object than a person.
That's true, but even like just like 3 months ago, before Photoshop released all this AI stuff, we had to do it manually.
Yeah, it was
We had to
manual.
like manually mask out or like fill in that portion
Yeah,
where
I
the
remember. Do you
photography.
remember that property? I don't even remember that property. Well, like, I don't remember the address, but we had to put probably 15, 20 doorknobs and images and stuff
Oh,
like that.
we had to put doorknobs on the
Doorknobs.
doors because
Yeah.
the realtor decided.
They were
Now,
like,
this
yeah.
is not okay. We're not bashing on the realtor, and if you're listening and you're a client, we love you. We
Yeah,
love
yeah,
you.
we love you.
But you should put some doorknobs on your on your property, on your listing.
Yeah, maybe it's a good idea before you
So
go
the
in
story
there.
behind this one was that they were rushing and they were going to put doorknobs before the open houses, but it just so happened that when we got there, we're already there. We don't want to go back to do the photos because it costs us money to go out there and to do all this. And they're like, okay, well, can you just like Photoshop the door handles on there, the doorknobs, because we're gonna put it on there.
Yeah, it was that, and then there was like a chimney that had like half tile and half the other one was completely
Oh,
like yeah.
that's right. There was like a decoration piece, right?
Yeah.
That was supposed to go over, like a veneer almost, supposed to go over the fireplace. And didn't you have to do something? Like I remember it was like
Yeah, we had to patch it.
we had to patch it. We had to like generate some type of design
Yeah.
to make it match and look somewhat like presentable.
Presentable, yeah.
Presentable.
Honestly, it was a good edit.
It was a good edit, but how long did it take you?
Probably like an hour and 10 minutes.
An hour and 10 minutes. That's like longer than you spend on the actual
Yeah.
shoot. An
Yeah.
hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about it like that.
So, speaking of someone who wants to like do their photo real estate business, is this a service that you would offer, like photoshopping to this detail for the photos?
No, honestly, I always say that even between us that, I think it's easier if I go there and the property's already like prepped and ready for me. Because, most of the times we're trying to get the best shots, trying to, get the best out of the property, and sometimes it's not possible because, there's a lot of clutter,
Mm-hmm.
and we understand that there's tenants living in the property, which, makes things difficult for the agent,
Sure.
which is understandable. But at the same time, I think that, and it's gonna probably come out a little bit rough, but it's
Just get the property ready.
yeah, just get the
Get the
property
property
ready.
ready.
Yeah, I believe that as a photographer, I have to care about like the layout, the composition of the image, and how it's gonna make the property look better.
Mhm.
But I don't have to worry about the towels, the
Sure.
personal stuff about yeah. So I
Yeah.
don't think it's
Well, okay, so think about like the whole process from A to Z of the whole listing cycle, right? We
yeah.
come near the end. We're near the end when everything's ready, everything's staged, and it's time for us to come in and reveal everyone's hard work and
Yeah.
cement it into the photos before open houses, before people come in and ruin everything. We
Yeah.
have to get the photos.
Exactly.
And if the property's not fully prepared by the time we get there, we actually, it like diminishes the work of everyone that came before us. The general contractor's hard work, the stager's hard work, it all gets diminished if the property's not prepared, if it's not
That
like
that
ready,
that is
presentable.
saying, if if there's not a tenant and it was staged and stuff like that.
Oh
But
yeah, that
but it
is
wasn't staged. Maybe I will actually consider, if I was a realtor, I will take some staging classes just to
staging because those
have
exist.
like a little. I don't know. I really don't know. Interior design, something.
Interior
I don't know.
design, yeah.
Yeah, just like something just to understand like the basics of it, so I can ensure that when I have a property and I'm gonna sell it, I know exactly where to put things,
Yeah,
so
and
I
what
can
looks
help.
good.
Yeah, exactly. I can help what do I have to hide?
Mhm.
What do I have to get rid of it? Like if I get rid of a lamp or maybe not, like
Sure.
stuff like that.
There's a lot of staging that is just it looks pretty and it looks like unique and modern, but it's not usable. Like for example, I saw this really cool desk. It was
Hmm.
like a nice desk. It was pretty high. It was kind of tall, right? It like
Yeah.
fit the room nicely because of the angles and the height of the room and the height of the desk. And the chair was gigantic. It was like this gargantuan chair, and it was like close to the ground.
Hmm.
And if you sat in it, if you were not Goliath or not like Shaq, if you're not
Yeah.
like Shaq, you would not be able to look and use that table.
Yeah, if I was sitting down there, probably you'd be like,
But it looked
dude.
like an art piece.
Yeah.
You would probably fall asleep. It would be like a little hammock for you.
Yeah.
But it was like an art piece,
Hmm.
and it looked beautiful in that room. But ain't no way, no one's using that.
Nah, no one's using that.
No one's
Yeah,
using
for
that.
sure. Yeah, and not even that. Yeah, sometimes even stagers. I had really good experiences with staging.
Hmm.
I think that the realtors that we have as customers are actually, they have really good stagers. But sometimes there's rooms where it's just the layout is just weird, and I don't move like a lot of stuff, like a
Hmm.
desk. I won't move it because I'm it's
It's
probably gonna,
heavy.
yeah, it's heavy, and I'm by myself. Like,
Liability.
yeah, and
You get hurt.
liability. I don't want to break it. I don't want to touch personal
Sure.
stuff. Yeah, right. So, but yeah, sometimes the how the room is set up, it doesn't make sense, and you still find the best shot. Maybe the shot it's
Yeah.
closer to the object, or
Hmm.
stuff like that.
But there's sometimes that we can almost read the mind of whoever staged
Oh
it.
yeah, for
You know what I'm
sure.
talking about? Like
Yeah,
you just kind of understand what is going on in their head when they put the sofa in this place and they put the picture frame right behind the sofa. You're like,
yeah.
I know which shot to get.
Yeah. I was one realtor in, I think it was Long Beach. Um I went to this place. It was really nice. It was completely remodeled and staged. The stager was so good that actually when he was putting it, there was like an island on the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
He measured the chairs so they were evenly
He did it.
there. Yeah.
He did?
And I noticed it because when I was getting the shot, I was gonna get a straight on, because that's calling for
Yeah.
a straight on
Of
shot, right?
course, of
So
course.
I was setting up the camera. I was like, okay, well, that just,
Let me adjust the chairs, right?
yeah.
That's
Let
what
me
we
just make
normally
sure
do,
that
but
and
it
I was
was
like, oh wait a
perfect.
minute, right? So I grabbed my phone and it's like taking measurements. It was even.
It was perfect.
Yeah, it was, which is the first time that happens.
That never happens.
Yeah, it never happens.
Because what happens is the realtor, whenever they get to the property, sorry realtors, but when they get to the property, they sit in the chair, they take
Yeah,
out
yeah,
their
yeah,
papers, they
yeah,
look at their flyers, and they use the staging just a
yeah.
little bit. So
Just a
it's
little
never
bit.
perfect.
I mean, we're not snitching on the
Yeah,
realtors,
yeah. We're not calling you out, but we're calling you out. Like the stager probably did it perfectly, but it's like
Yeah.
an inch off
Yeah. Which, it doesn't
now.
really affect the image. I mean, it
We're such
does.
nerds.
Yeah, it's a kind of like a nerdy thing, right?
No,
Yeah.
I mean it's attention to detail that people pay us to have.
Yeah. That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Like the best angles on the kitchen, I would say that is either straight on shot, but those shots I like when there's not like a half the image is the refrigerator, bro.
Oh, you got a pet peeve? Tell me about that refrigerator in the kitchen.
Yeah, like that's actually something that I don't really like. There's kitchens where they are long,
Yes.
And maybe the refrigerator is on the right, but it's half the image when you're looking at through the lens. It's half the image.
I totally get it. So there's tons of properties. This is just like to clarify on your point. There's tons of properties. You have a kitchen, you got the appliances, it looks beautiful, but the thing that's jutting out, because it's a really long, like it's a really deep refrigerator, it sticks out and it blocks the image.
Yeah.
And if you imagine it like,
oh, you know what? And I hate it when the sink is like right, after the like on the side of the refrigerator, because it's blocking that.
because you can't
don't
see it.
Yeah.
If you're trying to be in the middle of the hallway or the aisle walking down this kitchen, and the refrigerator is sticking out, I mean, you're gonna grab the majority of the shots just gonna be this refrigerator.
But if you really think about it, because I was thinking about that, I was like, how can I get a shot without that? It's like, if I get a shot without that, you get less room, right? Because it's
Doesn't show.
closer, right? It's closer. And not even that, if the refrigerator is not there, it looks odd.
Yeah, it looks incomplete. But here's the thing about refrigerators. They're not built into the house. They're not like, well, most of them aren't. They're not built into the actual kitchen.
Yeah.
So they're not exactly straight. They're not like...
No, that's true. Yeah,
so sometimes in real estate photography, if you guys didn't know, the vertical lines are everything.
Yeah.
Vertical lines, like you gotta be vertical.
No, and don't disrespect the horizontal lines, because even I've been to properties where I'm like perfectly lining up a straight on shot with the vertical, and the verticals are perfect, but the horizontals, because of how the house was built, it's screwed
with
it's screwed
90 degrees.
Yeah. I don't like that.
Okay, well, something else that happens because we're in California and we got a lot of earthquakes is that sometimes homes are not 90 degrees, like things are not 90 degrees square, and we can obviously pick it out in the photos. I mean, it's something that's a little odd, right? You just
it
don't
becomes
expect
really
it.
obvious for us.
Yeah, but I mean, things are not always 90 degrees, and it's a reality we have to live with.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of pet peeves, I got another pet peeve, and it has to do with the kitchen, and it has to do with the island. When it's luxury listing. Imagine you're in a luxury listing, huge kitchen. You got this island, and on top of the island, someone puts a huge vase with a huge plant on top of it.
It's blocking the kitchen.
It blocks everything.
Yeah, you cannot see anything. It blocks
everything. It's a beautiful kitchen.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful vase.
And I understand, the need to have some flowers and colors there, but, maybe the island is not the best spot.
It blocks everything. So, I mean, it only blocks us because we're taking a photo, but if you're walking in the space, you're kind of enjoying it. It's quite nice. But it's not that I'm calling out the stages, but I'm calling out the stages. Before the photos, why are you putting a huge vase like...
Yeah. I mean, just letting you know that, if it's there, we're just going to move it. Most of the time, we're going to move it.
Yeah, but like the last property I went to that had a huge one, it was so heavy. And I was like, I might break this.
Oh, was that the one, that you were going in and you can see like the living room? And there's like this table, a round table with the base on top?
Oh, okay. If we're talking about the same property, is this the one where the table was not like steady, like the table wobbled around?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was an iffy one. Yeah. I didn't want to touch the table. I didn't want to touch the vase. I mean, things are gonna break.
Yeah, probably
things about to break.
Yeah. No. Yeah, there's actually like stuff that as a photographer you have to make sure that you don't step on something, or you have to be really careful when you're in someone's property because,
Sure, it's not yours.
Yeah, it's not even that it's not yours, you don't want to get in trouble. Maybe if you break something, you don't know how much that thing is, man,
And yeah, that's true. Don't want to be messing around with things. But here's another... I know every single real estate photographer has gone through this. It is when you're moving the camera around the house and you hear a pop, 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 pop.
Oh yeah. Pop, pop. And like in the wall, on the wall.
What does that sound?
It's the tripod. When you don't fold, when you're lacing, don't fold the actual the legs, right? You're hitting objects. You shouldn't do that.
You're going through the house and you're hitting your tripod is just smacking the walls and smacking the doors. Pop, pop, pop,
yeah,
pop.
if you hire a photographer and you hear that sound, just get rid of that photographer.
Just come to us.
Yeah,
come to us.
Just come
this is the FrameX podcast. So come to FrameX Studio for your real estate media.
I do believe that whenever you're doing something as a profession, you have to take it seriously to that level.
I mean, sometimes the tripods are not super clean, and when it hits a white door, I mean, you have like a small little
Like you think it
spot.
doesn't matter until it matters, right?
Yeah, come on, guys, come on,
Like
come
even
on
if
now.
it's a property, if it's fully remodeled, I'm not gonna be there with my tripod just hitting stuff like that. It's just not how it works.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the same concept of like there's some things that I believe that are overkill. Like I know some photographers go and they go in like a suit and they like go take the photos. It's like I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah, I don't think that's needed, man. I
That
think
I mean,
that's
you're
taken into the other.
presentable.
Yeah.
You know, you go to like a multi-million-dollar listing in a, like a
You
nice
know, it's
jacket.
probably
It's
just
like
for the face. You know, it's probably just to.
it is, but also like understand that we do have to move around. Like it's work for us, and you don't expect like for example a construction worker. He's not going to go to a multi-million-dollar house in a suit. He's there to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Exactly. You know. You.
We're there to work. So
Yeah.
I prefer all the employees, everyone at FrameX, just to be comfortable. Be presentable.
Even in big productions, guys, like they all have like random clothes.
Sure,
They
sure.
don't have uniforms or anything like that
At least
there.
we got uniforms.
Yeah, at
At least
least
we
I
got
do.
shirts.
Yeah, we do have the shirts, man.
Hey, show me that
Yeah,
logo.
show me.
Yeah. For
There
those
you
of
go.
you listening on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, or if you're just listening to us on audio, be sure to check out LinkedIn and YouTube where we will post the video version of this as well. If you want to see our
Faces.
radio faces.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like that saying like I got the perfect face for radio.
The perfect face for right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so a little bit more about myself and Jehu. We founded FrameX Studio from like a marketing department is where it
Everything
stemmed
started.
from.
Yeah.
It stemmed from a marketing department, and we turned into FrameX Studio now, doing real estate media like this, and it's been a fun journey so far. And in the future, I can see us growing, but I do want to cap us. I mean, I want to cap us at here, South Bay, San Diego, and Orange County, and maybe the Inland Empire around that area. I don't
Yeah.
want to go too far, cause yeah, but because of that, I want to make the most out of each relationship. I want to like really get to know who we're working with,
Exactly. Yeah.
because I know there's some photo companies that just go throughout the U.S. and then it becomes a photo mill. They call it a photo
The
mill,
photo mill. Yeah.
where it just churns photos customer in, customer out. They're just a number, and I think you lose a lot of fun. You make a lot
Yeah.
of money, but you lose a lot of
Yeah,
the
the other day I was having a conversation with one realtor, and he actually said that, and we're not trying to do that here. He actually said, I just don't want to be one number. I don't want to be
sure.
one number. He's like, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, and we actually became friends with a lot of the realtor clients that we have.
Yeah,
I mean, we go out to have lunch. We go out like and this is not on business time. It's just like
just
not
enjoying the
yeah,
time.
just because we enjoy each other's presence and we're friends now.
Yeah, like this guy. This guy plays a lot of tennis with
I
a lot of
like
people.
tennis. I do. I do like tennis. If you play tennis, please let me know. But I can't spend too much time playing tennis these days because the company is growing at
Yeah,
a
we're
rapid
yeah.
pace. Yeah. But I do enjoy tennis a lot. And I did play tennis with some realtors. And if you're listening right now, make sure you meet me on the courts again cuz I need to beat you. It's
Yeah,
that competitive side coming out.
yeah. You know.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that great.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. There's I don't think that the business that we're creating it's going to the side of like hey, let's just make the money and just get
Let's just
I-
make a whole bunch of
yeah,
money
I don't think
and
it's
cap
going to
out and
that side. I think it's more in the we enjoy doing this. We have a good eye for this and that, and
okay, well, I mean, we're behind cameras, right?
yeah.
We're behind cameras. So, and in this case, we're in front of cameras,
Hmm.
but usually we're behind the camera. And when we're behind the camera, Jehu, weren't you like a street photographer, or what did you do before this that got you?
Yeah, I used to do a bunch of street photography, mostly with my phone.
Sure.
It was on that side. So when I saw that it was an opportunity to actually like bring properties to life and make them sell, because I understood when you're doing real estate photography, I don't want to say like that, but I want to say like that. We're kind of like a good thing to sell. Like we are actually a good marketing material. It's what the property like. How are you gonna show the property you use the listing you have?
Oh, I see what you mean.
You
So you're
you see
saying
what I'm
like
saying?
we're
Like
just like we're essential to the point
it's
where you
essential.
have
Yeah,
to have us.
yeah, it's essential. I think that I'm a believer that if you don't get professional photos doing real estate, you're doing something wrong.
You're a loser.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I don't.
You're losing in the game of real estate if
Yeah,
you're not
and
using
and
professional
I
photos.
understand. I understand the commission side a little bit. To a point where it's like, okay, maybe this property doesn't make sense to spend a little bit of money,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
like even if you get the lowest package, or if you want us to go
Hmm.
for 15 photos, we can probably make it work.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people there that use phone photos, which, or if you know how to take them, they're gonna
That
look
might be
good, right?
acceptable. Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's not working for you, you just get a real estate photographer.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I don't fully mean it when I say like you're losers,
No,
right?
no, no.
It just could
You
be
just
like you just didn't know, or you just like playing around and you just kind of figured out that, oh, I'll take some cell phone pictures and
yeah,
they look good enough, right? It's like, are you selling a house or are you selling like a used car on Craigslist?
yeah.
Like, even my used car on Craigslist, I take nice photos of.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it shows the level of like professionalism that you have
Hmm.
doing what you're doing, right? So, and not even that, you can use the photos as a marketing material for
Marketing
yourself,
material.
right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna put these photos because they're really nice in my listing presentation, so they can see that I'm working with FrameX Studio, and they have this, they come, they do the 3D, they do drones, or whatever, like
Sure, that's a good point. It's just like your photographer almost like shows it's an image, right? An image is worth 1,000 words or whatever that
yeah.
saying is. And if you have a really nice image and that is like what you present on a listing presentation,
Mhm.
it's like this represents me, the realtor. Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not gonna have some cell phone pictures
mhm.
on there. Like, what are you doing? Or like stock images. By now, everyone
Or
has seen stock images
not
of.
even that, reusing media, it's bad.
What do you mean by that?
uh there's something right in the MLS that if you use someone else's image or photos
Hmm.
from, let's say, you got this listing, and it was someone else just listed six, I don't know, a year ago, and
Hmm.
they had photos in the MLS, and you can download them and reuse them. I don't think that's good.
Oh, I see. Like
Yeah,
using another photographer's.
exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
And
Well,
not even because of that photographer. I think that the quality of the images, and it speaks a
ah,
lot about the agent, man.
I see.
It tells a lot about the agent.
In our area, the MLS is the CRMLS,
Mm.
and you get a little CRMLS watermark on the bottom of each
Oh, true,
image
true.
every time you upload it. But that's not the only thing that happens that they do to the photo. When you upload an image to CRMLS or whatever MLS you use on, the chances are they're not uploading full quality.
No, no.
It gets compressed. You start getting little nasty color spots. I mean, it's not nasty, don't get me wrong, but it's not full quality. You're not going to be able to put that on a flyer and like,
Oh,
maybe you can.
no, yeah. And now that you're mentioning that, I'm gonna interrupt you there because I see a lot of people using those photos. Okay, so they get our photos,
Yeah.
right? They post on the MLS, and then from the MLS, they re-download those photos and put them on social media. Don't do that. Just
Uh,
use the photos that you get from us, and it's
yeah,
gonna
use a full
look a lot
resolution.
better. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's a concept that not too many people understand. I mean, people who've been in you work with photos, they understand this. But every time you change a medium or you import it and you export it and you upload it and you download it, you lose some piece of quality. You lose some data.
Yeah.
And especially like, even if from the raw camera itself from Photoshop and we export it, it's different when we export it in certain files. For example, a JPEG versus a PNG.
Hmm.
There's already loss of data in
Yeah.
that. And then on top of that, you're uploading and downloading it and running it through all these other, MLS and other stuff.
Their
And
compression stuff like that.
yeah, you're losing quality.
Don't just upload the regular, like, I mean, the photos that you get from us to
Hmm.
the website. I mean, to the website, to the social media, and they're gonna look a lot better.
They'll look a lot better.
Yeah.
And I know you said like just upload the photos that you
Oh,
get
and
from
there's
us.
one setting. Yeah, and
Sure.
there's one setting in Instagram. I don't know where to find it. Yeah, you guys are gonna have to Google that. But there's a setting where you can upload like full quality, and
Mm.
make sure that's turned on.
Yeah, I believe that's in just play through the settings. It's I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's somewhere in there.
yeah, but it's definitely an important setting.
Yeah. And why do they do that? They like purposefully save space? I don't know.
Probably they use. I mean, if you think about how many millions, how
Yeah.
many users they
How
have,
many
they
users they have?
probably are saving some storage like
Probably
that.
saving a lot of money
Yeah,
with that
yeah,
option.
yeah,
But make sure you tick that to upload at full quality.
yeah. Just do that. It's gonna look a lot better. If you run into a post that it's like, hey, this image looks really sharp. They have
They
they have
probably
that.
did that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's for photos and videos or just
No, it's
videos or
yes
for
for
both.
both. For both. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, what a
As another
difference.
tip, yeah, maybe whenever you guys are uploading to and that's something we just learned.
Yeah.
Um if you're uploading a video to Reels or something on Instagram, make sure that the export of the video you do it in 4K.
Oh, that's a good
Even
tip.
if the video is not 4K, just do it in 4K
Correct.
because the compression works better. It looks a lot sharper.
Yeah. I mean, when you have the intention of viewing it on something that's 4K, and you export it as 4K, all that data is going to be there.
Hmm.
So when you're encoding everything, and long story short, export in 4K.
Yeah, just do it. It's
Just
just
do
gonna
it.
make your life easier, and your media is gonna look a lot better.
Looks a lot better.
Hmm.
Well, anyway, Jehu, this is all the time we have for this first episode of the FrameX podcast, and I'm glad we got to talk a little bit about what we do every day. And what do you think about this podcast? Can we keep this going?
I think we can keep this going. I think that leave in the comments if you guys want to know something. Maybe we can answer some questions in the next ones, or
Sure,
if you want to get to know us, for sure, just drop a comment, send us a
sure.
DM. We're gonna be happy to help you.
Tennis match,
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know.
If you guys want to get beat by
No,
this
I'm
guy,
just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. Anyway, well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode.
yeah. Bye.
Bye.